Hello, online entrepreneur, you are welcome. Hello, welcome to my live stream. Joy, you're welcome. Can you hear me? Hello, Joy, you're welcome. Ben, you are welcome from UK. You are welcome. Welcome to my session. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We are going to be continuing our discussion on impactful leaders. Online entrepreneur, you are welcome. Joy, you are welcome. Ben, you are welcome. Dubem, you are welcome. Okay, we'll be starting shortly. Let's see, if more people joins us. Let me just do a quick recap of also. And how impactful leaders. And today, I want us to look at people. And this person we are looking at is the first leader in the person of Kuan Yew, who is widely known or taken as the founding father of the modern Singapore. Hello, please say hi if you can hear me, so I can. Can you hear me? Hello. Are you people hearing me? Can you say something? I want to be sure you are hearing me before I proceed. Okay, it's in the clarity. Okay. I hope I hope it gets better. I hope it gets better. Thank you very much. Okay. As you are joining, please tap your screen, double tap the screen to like this live session. I look forward to getting a lot of flowers today, a lot of, lot of thumbs up. So many. Okay. Just like I said in my introduction, we started this discourse by looking at impactful leadership, and we also shared the reason for this discourse. You know, this is actually not the best of time here in Nigeria, and generally all over the world. I think that people are clamoring for good leadership because leadership is very important of leadership. We are opening this discussion, to try to steer people toward shaping for clarion call for contribution to leadership, so that we don't just all sit on the fence and think that so this popular saying that as you make your bed, so will you lie on it. Begin to have that leadership is a the impact will be felt. The impact will be felt. So this is the underlying. Singapore is countries that good things about the country. You know, I just had to ask myself about, what is Singapore like now? To late, and who wouldn't want populace are? There's a sense of it and joy that follow situations. Unlike where there is daily basis, and people seem to be struggling up and down to survive. So we look at this example and we want to see how suppose it and really know more about it and see whether it can influence us in our own journey too as a people. Now we are looking at the life of Kuan Yew of Singapore. The first major thing is that is taken as the founding father of modern Singapore. The founding father of modern Singapore. He transformed Singapore from a small colonial outpost to a thriving, highly developed country. He transformed Singapore from a small colonial outpost to a thriving, highly developed country. So I now ask myself, how developed is Singapore? How developed is Singapore? And you see that Singapore is a highly developed country, consistently ranking among the top, consistently ranking among the top in various global indices that Singapore has consistently ranked, among the top in various global indices. Look at an overview of its development. Economic development. You are seeing something like GDP number of $527 billion as at 2020. GDP per capita, nominal GDP, 64,133,000 as at 2020. Economic growth rate 2.4% as at 2020. Unemployment rate 2.1% as at 2020. Now, let me pause at this moment. I hope you are following me. When you look at a country like this that have this kind of outstanding economic development indices, What does that tell you? That the country is thriving. That the country is thriving. The country is doing well. And of course, because the economy is doing well, unemployment rates definitely will be low. And so that is why we are having as low as 2.1% unemployment rate as at 2020. Can you compare it in some other places? Can you compare it with some other places where companies are closing on daily basis? People are going out of business, you know. So it is when the economy is thriving, that people can find something to do and earn money and live a good life. But when the economy is shrinking, you find out that companies, establishments are being forced out of businesses. They're being forced out of business, and then as they are being forced out of business, the repercussion is felt on the populace. More people goes into the unemployment market, and with that, lesser, source of income being available to them, and then you see more suffering, more hardship. So definitely, from what I've outlined here, what I've just read out here about economic indices, it's obvious that the economy of Singapore is doing well. Look at Human Development Index, that they rank ninth globally. That Singapore rank ninth globally in Human Development Index. That life expectancy is 83.8%, 83.8 years as at 2020. Education, 95.1%, 95.1% literacy rate as at 2020. Healthcare, world-class healthcare system. World-class. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Daniel. Okay. It's raining where you are? Okay. No problem. Just keep listening. Let's hope that you don't miss out on most of the things. Please tap your screen, like this session. Send me those beautiful emojis. Send them. Tap your screen and send them. Like this session. Like it. I hope I will see a lot of flowers coming this time around. Okay. Send. Tap your screen. Okay. So we'll make progress. We are looking at Human Development Index of Singapore. In our efforts to understand this country that we are talking about. They rank ninth globally in Human Development Index. Life expectancy, 83.8%. 83.8 years. Education, 95.1% literacy rate. So what does that tell us now? That majority of the people of Singapore are educated. That education had become a part of their life, such that there is when you talk about literacy rate, it means that majority can read and write and understand things, unlike in many places maybe where education is struggle. that it shows that good education is part of this system. That's what it shows. Then healthcare, they have world-class healthcare system. Wow. And this is a country that was once colonized. You know, that's what is striking about this country, that they were once colonized, but they have risen from that situation of being colonized to become a world-class country that people, look forward to visiting. Then, in infrastructure development, infrastructure development, like transportation, efficient transport sector, efficient transport, efficient public transport, efficient public transport. And they say that Shanghai Airport, so it's mind blowing that all these good things are existing in this country. Housing, 80% of residents live in high-rise apartments. 80% of residents live in high-rise apartments. Utilities like reliable water, electricity, and waste management. These are indices, that show that a country is really developed. You see that we are seeing all these things, in display here about the country we are talking about, that Singapore is actually developed. Then telecommunications, that they have advanced ICT infrastructure. That they have advanced ICT infrastructure. Then come to innovation and technology. That in research and development expenditure is 2.2% of GDP. That they vote or they deploy as much as 2.2% of GDP to research and development. That shows that it is not only that they have done well, but they have positioned themselves to consistently keep researching and doing things right so that they can sustain development. So you see a deliberate effort, to keep succeeding, to keep doing things well, or to maintain their position, or their, at that top globally, in global development indices. Now, you see that startup ecosystem is vibrant with numerous incubators and accelerators. So the economy is well positioned and deliberately put on the path of consistent development. or sustained development. Smart Nation Initiative, integrating technology into daily life. 5G network rollout is ongoing. 5G network rollout is ongoing in Singapore. Then you come down to social development. Poverty rate 1%. Poverty rate of 1%. Can you imagine that? That poverty rate in Singapore is just 1%. Oh my God. So the country is actually rich. They are rich. So when the country is rich, they are thriving. The people within the country are also rich. They are well off. They are not struggling to pay transport to go somewhere, or struggling to buy fuel, or struggling to find food or shelter. A majority are rich. That is what it means when the poverty rate is just 1%. Then income inequality. Income inequality, Gini coefficient 0.452 as at 2020. That income inequality is almost very little. So you see that there is no wide gap between the maybe the between the populace. Is like, let me just, I don't know how to explain it. Is you don't see much of inequality, because there is what we are seeing here now is a situation where the middle class is almost extinct, and then you find out that it's either is the top or it is the down. So majority who are supposed to be well off now are struggling, because the inequality is why is very, very pronounced, well pronounced. It is either someone is very rich, or the person is poor and struggling. So you find out that there is actually not a balance, or somehow a situation whereby people just earn a living without struggle. That is the situation that is facing us, like in a country like Nigeria. But you see that in Singapore, that inequality is minimal. Then in education, they have free primary education, subsidized tertiary education, healthcare, subsidized healthcare services, subsidy. I hope you people are following me. Subsidy. Now, we are now looking at things that matter. You find out that countries that are doing well subsidize things that are important for for quality life to be available for their people. This is a typical example. And this situation did not fall from the sky. It was made, and there were deliberate efforts that were made to enthrone a system like this. There is free primary education, subsidized tertiary education, and that healthcare is subsidized. Healthcare is subsidized. So you don't have to pay through your nose before you can get a quality healthcare. So I know I'm doing this to lay a background to why we should actually look at a country like this. Why should we look at a country like this? That is why I'm looking at this. How developed, how much development has Singapore, got over the years. So you can see from all that is coming out now that this is a country that should be emulated, because they were in a past colony of some other country. They didn't just fall from the sky. They were once colonized, but with deliberate effort and good and impactful leadership, they had been able to enthrone lasting, lasting development over the years to get to where they are now. Global rankings. Okay, environmental sustainability, you see carbon emissions 2.2 tons per capita as at 2020. Renewable energy 3.5% of total energy mix. Green spaces 47% of land area. How can they, okay, green spaces 47% of land area. That means that they equally try to conserve nature for them to have such good percentage of land area in green. Water management, self-sufficient in water supply. Singapore is self-sufficient in water supply. Then global rankings, World Bank ease of doing business, second as at 2020. World Bank's ease of doing business, that they ranked second as at 2020. What does that mean? That you can easily do business in Singapore. That is what it means. That the infrastructure is there. That the environment is conducive for business to thrive. And so for them to have such global ranking shows how important this economy is. World Economic Forum's Global Competitiveness Index, first, as at 2019. Messa's Quality of Living Survey, fifth, as at 2020. Quality of Living Survey, they were fifth. That means the quality of living of people of this country ranked fifth globally as at 2020. Human Development Index, ninth. So they pay attention to human development. Singapore's development is characterized by strong economic growth, high standard of living, excellent education and healthcare systems, advanced infrastructure, innovative economy, commitments to environmental sustainability. Wow, I hope you are following me. I can't stop looking at all this because, they thrill me. I'm thrilled personally that, there could be deliberate effort that can make all this kind of difference and sustained up till now. So, of course, there is no country that has it all. At every point in time, there's always something to contend with. But when there is a good leadership in place, such things will not really be a big problem. So, like every other country, they do have their own challenge too, but mostly they are on the path of development. So now, these are all the things that are good about. And so let us now look at the man that is being called the father of modern Singapore. That is the man we are looking at. Okay, a famous ancient upright judge in China had a very dark skin. His name was Justice Boer and very well liked till today. Thank you, KBT. Thank you for that contribution. We'll keep learning. Justice Boer. Okay, that's well noted. We'll keep on learning. Wherever we see something good, we throw it up so that it can, influence people. What we are after here is to inspire people, because my channel is about motivation and inspiration. And I'm raising, I started this course to inspire people to step forward to be the good leader that we are yearning for, to inspire people at all levels to step forward and contribute to leadership wherever they find themselves. Thank you very much. So we continue with our discussion of today. We are talking about the man that is widely known or regarded as the father of the modern Singapore, Kuan Yew. What did this man do? First of all, we have heard that he transformed Singapore from a small colonial outpost to a thriving, highly developed country. How did he do this transformation? That is the big question. How did he achieve it? What did he do? Lee was born in Singapore in 1923. His early life was marked by the Japanese occupation and later British colonial rule. These are the people that colonized Singapore. These experiences shaped his anti-colonial sentiments and fueled his desire for Singapore's independence. He saw something he did not like. Growing up, he saw this Japanese occupation. He saw the British colonial rule. He didn't like it. He didn't like this. So he stepped forward to be the difference. You see where I'm going to? He stepped forward to be the difference. Because if there has to be a change, someone must step forward to bring about that change. Especially when we have a bad experience. We don't let that bad experience, continue. And then we shield ourselves and feel that maybe God will come down from heaven to change the situation. You see a man that saw a bad situation he didn't like, but he now decided, I was going to do something about this. I was going to be the difference. And of course, he must love his country very well. Of course, he must love his country very well to be able to achieve some of the developmental strides that are attributed to him. Lee co-founded the People's Action Party in 1954 and won his first seat in the Tanjong Pagar division during the 1955 general election. He became the de facto opposition leader in parliament, advocating for self-governance and merger with other former British territories to form Malaysia. In transforming Singapore, as Prime Minister from 1959 to 1990, Lee oversaw Singapore's transformation into a developed country with a high-income economy. He achieved this through the following. I was saying something about how did this man achieve this? How did he achieve this? First of all, that economic planning. Economic planning. He had a long-term social and economic planning focusing on education, infrastructure, and trade. He had a long term, not just for one day. He had a long term social and economic planning, focusing on education, infrastructure, and trade. Then the next thing is that he deployed meritocracy and multiracialism, championing civic nationalism through meritocracy and multiracialism as governing principles. I want to look at these two terms very well. That he champions civic nationalism through meritocracy and multiracialism as governing principles. These two terms did magic in Singapore. Ajit Desai, US China balance sheet recession started big. Oh my God. US happiness index debt 36 trillion, extreme poverty, print dollar, corruption. Oh my God. Okay, okay, okay. We are learning. Thank you, Ajit Desai, for that contribution. Okay, I know that there are all manner of diverse problems across the world. That there are all manner of problems in different economies all over the world. But where we see strong showing, where a country is showing power, showing strength, we need to take a second look at how did this country get what are they doing right. There must be something they are doing right, and then we emulate, we emulate because there's no end to learning, so we'll keep on learning to get better. Now, I was talking about meritocracy and multiracialism. Meritocracy and multiracialism. What is meritocracy? What is meritocracy? What is meritocracy? Meritocracy is a system where rewards, opportunities, and power are distributed based on individual merit, ability, and achievement, rather than factors like wealth, birth, or social status. A system where rewards, opportunities, and power are distributed based on individual merits, ability, and achievements, rather than factors like wealth, birth, or social status. So, meritocracy is what Lee deployed. It became a principle that was, enshrined in the way they did things in Singapore over time. Meritocracy, that people who merit certain things are given that thing, or people who are qualified for certain opportunity are given the chance. They are given the chance to take it and contribute, such that the country will gain more, Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Ajit Desai, thank you very much for that contribution. Thank you very much. He said that India emerges third most powerful country, potential superpower. Okay. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. We are learning. We'll keep on learning. Thank you very much for that contribution. Now, we are looking at how, at two terms that Singapore or Lee deployed very well to succeed in Singapore. And we are now looking at meritocracy. What are the key principles in meritocracy? What are the key principles in meritocracy? Just a moment, please. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. Sorry for that interruption. Okay, so we look at what are the key principles in meritocracy. What are the key principles in meritocracy? You see that under meritocracy, you talk about equal access, that everyone has an equal chance to compete. Everyone has an equal chance to compete and demonstrate their abilities. You know, meritocracy, we talk about equal access. The opportunities are thrown open to everyone to compete, to contribute, to participate. Then talent-based selection. That selection process, even in leadership, is based on talent. If you have the ability to do certain things, that you are given the chance to do that. Talent-based selection, decisions are made based on individual merit, skills, and performance. Fair competition. That competition is open and transparent. Competition is open and transparent with clear criteria for evaluation. With clear criteria for evaluation. Rewards for achievement. That there is reward for achievement. Individuals are rewarded for their accomplishments and contributions. You see what we are talking about? These are the principles that are enshrined in this concept of meritocracy. That things are done based on merit, on qualification, on ability. That you reward people according to what they are able to contribute or able to achieve, and not that we just be living how do I describe it? Only I call it falsehood or something, or denial and falsehood, and the whole thing keeps boomeranging. And that the best hands are deployed to handle different things. That round pegs are put in round holes, and not the other way around, so that the country benefited most from it. Thank you for the contribution. I can see all the inputs. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Please like this session. Please like, tap your screen and like, send me those beautiful emojis. Okay. We continue. Now, meritocracy has a goal. What is the goal of meritocracy? That meritocracy has a goal to promote fairness and justice. Of course, when people are given what is due to them, or things are done based on merit, there will be fairness and then there will be justice. It also aims at encouraging innovation and excellence. It encourages innovation and excellence. And of course, what it means is that people are encouraged to do things right. It fosters social mobility. It optimizes resource allocation. That means that when there is something to share, it is shared in the most equitable way. And not on winner takes it or the most powerful takes it all and the rest goes hungry. Okay, so these are some of the things that we can see under meritocracy. Now, let me see some statistics that meritocracy brought into Singapore because of this principle that is enthroned, that GDP growth was 10% average annually from 1965 to 2015. Are you seeing intentionality? That GDP growth was 10% average on annual basis from 1965 to 2015. The unemployment rate was 2% as at 2020. The education ranking, the Singapore education system consistently ranks among the world's best. Are you seeing what I'm seeing here? That the educational system ranked consistently among the world's best. The corruption perception index is fourth list corrupt country as at 2020. Singapore's experience demonstrates the potential benefits of meritocracy in fostering economic growth, social mobility, and national development. Wow, this is awesome. This is so good to hear. So, meritocracy, as we can see here, that it's helped Singapore. Somebody enthroned this and it worked. And we're able to see the contribution that it made. So that means that it can be copied. It can be replicated somewhere. And possibly the same outcome can be gotten. Now, the other term that came up here is multiracialism. Multiracialism. What is multiracialism? Multiracialism is a concept that promotes the coexistence, recognition, and celebration of diverse racial and ethnic groups within a society. Multiracialism is a concept that promotes the coexistence, recognition, and celebration of diverse racial and ethnic groups within a society. Because Singapore is also a multicultural society. They have languages, different languages, but they decided to adopt English as the official medium of communication and still tried to preserve other ethnic languages. The major um, characteristics of multiracialism is racial equality. That people of all race within the country are seen as equal. Cultural diversity, that they appreciate. Yeah, inclusiveness. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, inclusiveness in everything. Yes, inclusiveness makes a whole lot of difference. Thank you very much, KBT. Thank you very much. Now, in multiracialism, that you talk about racial equality, that people of all race within their system are seen as equal. Cultural diversity, they recognize that there are different cultures within this system, and then look at that cultural diversity as something good, something that should be celebrated and preserved. That you see these different cultures within the system as beautiful and good and worthy of being preserved, and then still allow inclusiveness so that everyone, no matter your culture, you are seen as somebody within the system. Social inclusion, just like KBT said. And Kishin, welcome, welcome, welcome. And social inclusion, then equal opportunities. You see, equal opportunities. That's things are not hijacked for some people, while others are left without anything. There's a popular saying that that justice brings peace. That there cannot be peace in the absence of justice. It's like justice and peace works hand in hand. So when you have, and of course, when there is peace, there will be development. So when you have equal opportunities and the card is thrown open for everyone to participate or to get a portion or their due from the system, you find that there will be fairness, there will be justice, and there will be peace, and there will be progress. They all work hand in hand. This cannot work in the absence of this. So when you have equal opportunities, people are happier. People are happier, and productivity will definitely be high, because most of the time you find out that these opportunities are given to the right people that will do things the way it will benefit majority. Then the key principles under multiracialism are this: that there's recognition of diversity, there is acknowledgement and value. They acknowledge and value the differences among ethnic groups very, very well. So you see it, you recognize there is diversity, you acknowledge and value the differences among racial and ethnic groups. Then there is equal treatment, that you ensure equal rights, opportunities, and treatment for all, regardless of race. That there is cultural exchange, You see now, cultural exchange, because if there is something good here, the other can also emulate it. Encourage mutual understanding and respect among different racial and ethnic groups. That people are respected for who they are and given a chance to thrive. Awesome. Cultural exchange, there could be intermarriages. People are not bad in any way. People are not seen as lesser human being. Nobody is seen as less. Because in the whole of all this is to foster the sense of nationhood. First of all, that you belong to a nation, even though you have a different culture, but there's a nation. So the nation becomes number one, and your culture is kept, at the background, so that you have inclusiveness, you have a sense of belonging, whereby you see yourself as part of this system, and you protect it, and you are patriotic, and you give your all. And you are happy and willing to be part of the progress of that system. Then there is inclusive policies, that they implement policies that address the needs of diverse racial and ethnic groups. Inclusive policies, that it is not a policy of exclusion, that some people are included while others are included. In the face of this, there is definitely going to be progress. I hope you are liking this session. Please like and send me some love. Send me some love. Tap your screen and send me some love while we share. Okay. Then there's some of the other things that he did, apart from these two terms that we try to, explore. Lee also championed anti-corruption, forging a highly effective anti-corrupt governmental and civil society and civil service. Forging a highly effective anti-corrupt government and civil service. Can you beat that? When government in itself decided that it will not tolerate corruption at all, and becomes the example, and also promotes anti-corrupt civil service. Wow. So why wouldn't the country grow? You see some of the things that the man did, that he championed anti-corruption. And of course, what it means that he himself will not be corrupt. He must have been a good example, starting from himself, then his leadership, and also enthroned that in the civil service. Language policy. He made English language the lingua franca to integrate the immigrant society and facilitate trade, while mandating bilingualism in schools to preserve ethnic identity. Beautiful. Because there are other languages, different ethnic groups have their languages, that these ethnic groups were allowed, that people from these ethnic groups were allowed to take up their language in school. Maybe like, let's say in Nigeria, that we have different ethnic groups and languages, that for instance, if you are Igbo, you still offer Igbo, but English language becomes the official medium of communication, but you still learn how to speak Igbo and write Igbo and take it in exam, because you want that language to be preserved, just like every other one, like Yoruba language, a Bibio language, Efik language, and so forth, on and so forth. So this is something beautiful that was done here too, that they made English language the lingua franca, that's the general language, and then they integrated, because of immigrant societies, people from all race come to their country, so they needed a medium of language that would be common for everybody to use, and then all the other ethnic nationalities still retained their own language. Well, even when a leader is leading very well, he cannot be perfect. There is a saying that he faced challenges and criticism. Of course, there's no way he would have done all those without criticism. Some people will still not like him completely. But that does not remove the fact that he was determined at certain, bringing up changes, and he was able to do it. Some of the challenges and criticism were that he was authoritarian in style, that he curtailed press freedom and restricted labor movements. But that, however, he argued that those measures were necessary for Singapore's early development and stability. That they were necessary for Singapore's early development and stability. And today, they are reaping it. He was firm. Let me look. I don't know the man. I was not there in Singapore when he was, but everything that is coming out concerning him is pointing to the fact that he was intentional about some of the things he did at the time he did, to put down something that can stand the test of time. And the country is reaping it at this time. And of course, it had become a way of life because the country is still doing well, and they are consistent on the path of sustained development. Now, his legacy. Lee stepped down as prime minister in 1990, but remained influential in Singaporean politics until his passing in 2015. Lee stepped down as prime minister in 1990, but remained influential in Singaporean politics until his passing in 2015. Today, he is remembered as a visionary leader who transformed Singapore into the prosperous modern nation it is today. Now, you remember the day we talked about the characteristics of impactful leader that we looked at. We said that impactful leaders are visionary. They are visionary. So Lee was a visionary. That's what it means. Because he looked at the future and he worked towards a future of Singapore that he imagined at that time. This future, this Singapore we are seeing today, he must have conceived it in his mind and then tried to work towards what we are seeing today about the country. So he laid the foundation, not minding the criticism or maybe a handful that may still be against what is in, because most of, even if you are leading, there's no way everybody will like what you are doing. But if you know what you are doing, you remain firm and focused, and it keeps going. And that is what he did, irrespective of maybe diverse opinion. He had been able to enthrone what's lasting as far as the country is concerned. Now, the another thing that I keep talking at my mind is, in a place like Nigeria or Africa, you hardly hear a leader stepping down. Hello, are you still there? You hardly hear a leader stepping down. It's very rare. it's very rare to hear that a leader stepped down. He decided, you now ask yourself, why will he step down? Is it that he became tired of leading? Why did he step down? Why did Lee step down? Lee Kuan Yew stepped down as Prime Minister of Singapore in 1990, marking the end of his remarkable 31-year tenure. He didn't completely retire from politics, though Lee continued to serve in the cabinet under his successors, holding the positions of senior minister until 2004 and then minister mentor until 2011. Why did he step down? Reason for his stepping down. It's worth noting that Lee's decision to step down was likely a strategic move to ensure a smooth transition of power. And to allow younger leaders to take the reins. To ensure a smooth transition of power and to allow younger leaders to take the reins. He had over the years groomed people that, people that worked with him. He had been able to groom them and then stepped aside to allow them to continue, while he now continued to give support from the back. So his successor, Goh Chok Tong, was already a seasoned politician and a key figure in the People's Action Party, which Lee had co-founded in 1954. So we see here a visionary leader in Lee Kuan Yew, who led for 31 years and voluntarily stepped aside to allow another person, a younger person that he has mentored, to take over, and also to allow smooth transition of power. And they stayed by the back, or stayed behind to give support. Well, so in a world of today where people or leaders, most leaders don't want to relinquish power, he willingly relinquished power. He did not only relinquish power, but he also stayed close to support those that he handed over to. And then he also, of course, what it means is that the developmental efforts continued in the same direction. He must have tried to make sure they don't deviate, so that all that he had laid foundation, all the foundation he had laid will be sustained, and of course was sustained over the years, leading to what we are seeing today. Just like I said before, that Lee was criticized by some persons, but that is not an uncommon thing. It's common that even when you have the best of intention, that there will still be people that don't see things that way. So it also happened in his own case that some people still debate his leadership today, and while some are hailing him as the founding father of modern Singapore, that others are criticizing his authoritarian style of governance. But it is important to note that his impact on Singapore's transformation from a poor post-colonial state to a thriving modern nation is undeniable. Is undeniable. He planted and he planted for his country something good and sustainable. And today, his legacy lives on. The modern Singapore is the people currently in today's Singapore are reaping what the man sowed. Thank you very much. I think I'm rounding up here. Please say something, say more things. Thank you, KBT. You are awesome. Awesome. Rini Jack, thank you. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Stella. Thank you. Thank you very much for participating in this session. I hope we've done, we're going to draw the curtain here. And in a nutshell, we have tried to look at a country called Singapore, how a country like Singapore, a post-colonial Singapore has been, was transformed to a thriving frontline developed country that it is today by the efforts and vision of an impactful leader called Lee Kuan Yew. Lee Kuan Yew. So, for all that we have shared, I want to believe that somebody somewhere is being inspired, by the life of this man. I am. I don't know about you. I'm inspired because wherever I see something good, I stretch my neck. you know. Thank you very much. Thank you for participating. I hope you have liked. I haven't seen much of the loves. Send to me. Oh, send me all those beautiful. Uh, all those beautiful love something. I need them. All those, tap your screen, double tap, and before you leave, like the session. Thank you very much. I am most grateful to you for participating, and I look forward that some other day we'll share on someone else, and I hope that Lee Kuan Yew had somehow impacted our thinking about leadership. He really fits into the description of an impactful leader. Yes. Wow, info me. Thank you. It has made a lot of difference to my country. Awesome. You are from Singapore? Tell us more. Tell us more. Thank you for all the people from other countries. It looks like I had a lot of people from different parts of the world. Thank you very much. Oh my God. Thank you. Info me. Thank you. Thank you from Singapore. Oh, awesome. Oh my God. Thank you, Anne. Thank you. Yes, I know. Me, I look forward to going to Singapore because of a friend. I have this friend that worked for one multinational before Nigeria became so bad. He travels to Singapore from time to time, and oh my God, thank you. For me, see what he's telling us. It's not easy because we had nothing when we were kicked out to be forced to become a country. Awesome. Thank you. You see? I was just drawn to this man because of the things I read about him. I was just drawn and I say, I know all I've heard about Singapore. You can imagine the world's best airport being in that country. That my friend used to tell me whenever he goes to Singapore and come back, he would just like, You need to go to Singapore. You need to go to Singapore. I look forward to, well, someday that, even though this is far, but it's worth going to see. It's worth going to see. And that's part of the reason I became excited when his name came up. I was like, let me really know more. Yes, exactly. Informe, thank you very much. So he had to be strong because things will go crazy if there is no other. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's the summary. You know, when they are criticizing him that he is autocratic, you see that he was firm. He loved the country, definitely. He was firm. He was firm. He needed to hold things together so that the country can have its footing. And today, it has paid off. And they are reaping it. They are reaping it. Thank you very much for this awesome and wonderful contribution. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate. I pray that God will help us, especially in Nigeria, to raise us a leader that will be selfless. That's not a leader, but leaders at all levels that will be selfless and committed to a similar ideals, you know. Exactly. You see? You see? Number one key, totally no corruption allowed in civil service. Thank you very much for telling us all this. Thank you. You see, this my session is very, very, very good. Thank you very much. You've really made my day, giving us first-hand information. It is not that I read this one, but this one is coming from someone within Singapore. Thank you very much. Thank you. You said that number one key is that there was totally no corruption allowed. That corruption is not allowed in civil service. Thank you very much. Africa should learn. Nigeria should learn. Our leaders should learn. Our leaders should learn. We really need to copy good things wherever we see it so that we can be better off. The trouble around is much, and I pray that God will raise us people that will be selfless and also that will become example for many. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Say it's my honor to have you talk about my founding Prime Minister, Ernestina. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, darling. Thank you. I really appreciate. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So, everyone, thank you very much for connecting and being with me on this session. And as we round up this session, I look forward to having you once again when next I come live. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.